Hey everyone, it's Zahara Stars with Astrology doing another transit video, and this time I'm talking about Jupiter transiting the 8th house. So, Jupiter transits last approximately 1 year between direct motion and retrograde motion. Jupiter is the planet of luck, fortune, and expansion, and optimism. So wherever Jupiter is transiting is where you will be seeing these traits taking place. And these situations taking place: luck, optimism, and positivity and expansion. Okay, so what is the 8th house? The 8th house isn't necessarily an optimistic house. It's the house of Pluto, and Pluto is the planet of deep hidden things, along with exposure of them, death, rebirth, transformation, and deep psychological experiences. It also is the planet of intense sexual experiences, taboo, power struggles, and things that we'd rather not talk about. So the 8th house is all that's hidden, okay? It's all that we choose to hide typically, but also can be things that are passed on generational to us. It's a deep house of psychology. It is also the house of merging between two people. So from the 7th house of marriage, we move into the 8th house of shared resources. So it's the house of other people's money. It has to do with government money, including things like your taxes, credit cards, larger loans, bigger money, and also your partner's assets, both business partner or marriage partner. So it is it's one of the deepest houses because it involves sharing resources, money with other people. Also contracts, like I said, government money, investment money, investments, stuff like that as well. But it's deeply psychological, and it is about endings and beginnings as well. And it's about life and death. It's basically transformation as a result of these things. So Jupiter's transit here, being the planet of expansion, can actually make some of these issues bigger. It can actually bring on the negative, because this is one of the transits, and actually where Jupiter is one of the transits where Jupiter can actually be negative to a certain degree, because sometimes we don't want things in this house to be bigger. Now, the positives is that money gets bigger, okay? And we're talking about bigger money getting bigger. So we're talking about tax return money getting bigger, credit card offers coming in like crazy, loans being approved, stock market money going up, making bigger money, okay? Your partner can get a raise, your marriage partner can get a raise, you can get a job offering bigger money. You will increase your money. If you have your own business, your money's going to go up pretty big. It's a good time to get loans and for other people to give you money. Benefits. Jupiter benefits you. It's luck and fortune. So luck, fortune, expansion, and optimism. So luck and fortune coming in the area of bigger money, loans, credit cards, all that stuff. If you need a loan, it's a good time to apply. If you are investing in the stock market, it's a good time to do it. It's a good time where you'll see your money come back to you and increases in it. If you're married, your partner can get a raise and be more generous with you. If you have your own business, your clients can be more generous with you. This is other people's money. So it's not the money that you make in the 2nd house. It's the money that comes from other people. Now, of course, if you have a business, the money's always coming from other people. But other people are more generous with you. Now, it also has to do with emotional support too, because it's support. So people could take out time to try to be more emotionally supportive with you as well. Supportive and generous financially with you. More willing to invest in you. It's a good time to get an investor. It's a good time to have deep, intimate connections with your partner or even a new person, because Pluto's house, the 8th house of sex, death, and taxes, that's what we call it, but it's more than that. But just to give you an idea, you can have a lot more opportunities for sex. Typically it's going to be, Jupiter expands and makes bigger. But also, when it comes to death, okay, on the negative side, if anybody's kind of, you know, not in really good health at this time period, or situations should occur, some people experience death while Jupiter transits this house, because Jupiter doesn't judge what it expands. It just expands. So, you know, it depends on other aspects also being made, but Jupiter makes bigger. So it's possible that you can have a death experience with somebody that you know. But I don't like to talk a whole lot about that, but I just want to let you know that it is possible. You'll definitely have deeper, more meaningful experiences during this time period. A lot can be exposed. Sometimes you can deal with, you know, because it has to do with darker, hidden things. You can see that in other people more clearly as well. You can deal with deeper psychological situations, of course, like if you experience a death or, you know, something like that. And also because it's the house of inheritance, sometimes death causes the inheritance, and that's why they're kind of linked together. But more optimistically, it is about expanding your net worth, you know, having fortunate opportunities to get breaks on your taxes, to get more credit cards if you need them, or get a loan if you happen to need it, or get an investor if you're looking for an investor to invest in your business, or if you're in a situation where you need to ask somebody for a loan, you're likely to get it. If you're married, you'll be sharing more with each other. You might be, you know, spending a lot more time, intimate time together, receiving more from your partner, generosity, emotional understanding, and deep, intimate, passionate connections, because Pluto is all about intense experience. It's not about light and fluffy stuff. Pluto's like, you know, I want you to really feel this. I want you to really experience this. I want you to, you know, understand life and death cycles. So Jupiter going in there expanding things, that's what you can expect. So it's actually a really good transit for a lot of things, but it does have its negative potential. But you know, it's different for everybody, and the negative is not very common, but it is something that can happen. So just stay optimistic and positive through this transit, and go ahead and, you know, pursue new relationships. It's a good time for that. Go ahead and invest in the stock market. That's a good time. Go ahead and ask for that loan if you need that loan. Whatever it is, you're going to be seeing benefits coming to this area of your life, which happens to be an extremely powerful transit for both financially as well as intimately, and close connections and bonds with others. So overall, it's a fantastic transit. So thank you for joining me for this Jupiter transits the 8th house. And the next transit I'll be talking about is Jupiter's transit through the 10th house. So thank you so much for joining me. If you found this helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and leave your comments. I always love to hear from you guys. If you'd like your own personal reading regarding your own personal chart, you can visit my site at www.illumastrology.com. Thank you. Until next time.